Okay, not everybody's going to see it, but we are expecting a few of our counties, mainly Ashtabula, Lake Geauga County, to really get some snowfall. And it's not going to be a whole widespread event, depending on where you are and where these snow bands continue to line up. Some places could see 6 to 8 inches of snowfall accumulation, and I think as we continue to move off to the north and east, or the very northern part of Ashtabula County, maybe you could see a little bit more in the ballpark of 8, 9, or even 10 inches of snowfall. I know it's a lot, and probably a lot of people wondering, all right, who's going to see that and when? So let's just jump right into it. If you have any questions, I'll pull up the comments too. Sometimes I have a hard time seeing them, but I will try to get to your comment if you have them. All right, we do have a lake effect snow warning for Ashtabula. That is new as of today. So yesterday didn't have that. We still have a winter weather advisory for Lake and Geauga. So those are the counties that we're really focusing on for a majority of the snowfall. Parts of Cuyahoga County is expecting to see a trace, maybe up to an inch, especially in some of those far eastern counties. Now the radar looking a little bit active this evening. So far we haven't really had any major reports across the region, so still just seeing a few flurries, and a lot of this our radar is picking up on some cloud coverage, especially closer towards Port Clinton, Vermilion, downtown Cleveland. You're probably seeing a few flurries or a few flakes here or there flying throughout the air, but nothing that will really stick throughout the next overnight hours. Our main event here is really this lake effect band that is continuing. You could see Conneaut really starting to pick up on some of those snowfalls, so you're kind of in the midst of that band. Ashtabula, even stretching down through North Perry, North Madison. That's still a little bit too offshore for you to see any major precipitation. The wind could be blowing a snowflake or two as we head into the late part of the night, but we are expecting those winds to shift overnight into early tomorrow morning, and that's when that snow will move a little bit more onshore. I think Don asked, how much snow will Parma Heights get tonight? Parma Heights, so really not expecting too much in the Parma Heights area. I'd say maybe an inch to 3 inches, depending on where you're at. Again, we're expecting kind of the bulk of this to be a little bit closer towards that northeastern quadrant. So I'd say probably an inch, maybe, and then it's not really expecting to stick too much throughout the day. Temperatures will warm up above freezing. So let me know if you're seeing a few flurries out there tonight. I'll try to get to everybody's area as I can. All right, I want to take you quickly up to the New York kind of area here, because we've been talking about Buffalo, and right now just south of that, so Portland stretching up through Evans, New York, they are seeing that snowfall, and they've been seeing it pretty much all evening long. They are expecting to really see some snow. That will kind of shift off to the north some, so we're expecting some of that to continue to move in throughout the later part of the night, and they could see multiple feet of snow. All right, Lisa's asking about Geneva. Geneva, you're going to be in that, I'd say 6 to 7 inch range. So once this kind of drops a little bit closer to you, you're really expecting some of that snowfall to hit. And you'll probably have a better area understanding of that snowfall when I get to this next graphic. So again, there's one of our major bands that we're watching out for. That will continue to move onshore heading into the later part of the night. So folks still staying relatively clear right now. Tonight, temperatures falling into the 20s, so any snow that does fall will at least stick overnight, as we have a very bitter night. That lake effect snow mainly setting up overnight. And then tomorrow we'll see a few isolated flurries here or there, but not much sticking elsewhere. It's really going to be that lake effect. But heading into the afternoon and evening, you can see temperatures will warm up above freezing, and that will allow for some of that melting. So hour by hour, heading into the later part of the night, really watching out for Ashtabula to see some of that snowfall. And then by early tomorrow morning, we are expecting that to continue to push onshore, and that's where parts of Lake and Geauga counties could see some of that snow move in. Again, places seeing 3 to 6 inches of snowfall in parts of Lake and Geauga, and then we'll start to clear things out with just a few lingering flurries on Friday. All right, here's the graphic that everybody wanted. So Mayfield Heights, you're going to be in that 3 to 4 inch range. Euclid, I'd say closer to 3 to 4 inches of snowfall. Middlefield, Hamden, you're going to be closer towards 4 to 6 inches of snow. So if you're seeing kind of that purplish color, 3 to 6 inches of snowfall in your region. Painesville is included in that, but folks near North Madison, Conneaut, so right along I-90 as we get into parts of Ashtabula County, and I'd say that northeastern end of Lake County, that is where we are expecting the 6 to 9 inches of snowfall. That is really where we're expecting the bulk of the snow. Places closer towards Medina, not really going to see much. Maybe a few snowflakes here or there, maybe a trace amount on some of those higher elevation surfaces, but you guys are a little bit too far south. All right, we also have someone asking about Bainbridge. You're a little bit more south, so I'd say you're kind of in the ballpark of 1 to 3 inches of snow. And then folks off to the west, if you're west of Cleveland, you're really not going to see much snow at all. A few snowflakes here. So I think someone was asking about, oh, where was it? Lorraine. You probably not even a trace, probably a few snowflakes here or there. So really the bulk is going to be in those areas where we have that lake effect snow really setting up Lake Ashtabula counties. I think you're going to like this though. So as we head into this next week, once we get past the cold air, temperatures falling back from the upper 30s tomorrow, low 30s on Friday. It is going to be a bitter cold weekend, teens and for Friday into Saturday and even Sunday mornings. Really going to be cold out there. We'll start to see a little bit of a warm up, so that's kind of the nice news as we head into next week. 40s and then upper 40s by Wednesday and even into Thursday. If you're doing some traveling for the Thanksgiving holiday, sunshine finally returns there, but we do have our next chance at a few showers moving on Thanksgiving itself. All right, I see a few more questions. I'm going to pull back up the snowfall graphic here while I try to answer some of your questions. All right, Janet asks, Akron to Independence Friday morning, what will you be dealing with? So Akron, not really going to see too much of anything. As you head up north towards Independence, you may see an inch of snowfall. I know ODOT's really kind of prepared for this event, so I think they'll be out early preparing the roadways. So I think the road should be plenty fine. You just might want to watch out for any damp areas because overnight, if there are any wet spots out in the roadway, some of those could turn slick. I know some of us have been dealing with some rain today, so the bridges and overpasses may be a little bit damp. Cedric, that is right. Some places are going to be diving into snow. All right, well, I will be back on later tonight at 10 o'clock. We'll look over those snowfall amounts yet again and have our recent model in. So I'll keep an eye on this forecast for you. You can always do that too at fox8.com underneath the forecast discussion. All right, everybody have a good night.